In the heart of America's Midwest, a monster lurked, one who claimed 17 innocent lives before the world discovered the horrifying truth. Jeffrey Dahmer, a name that still sends shivers down spines, wasn't just another serial killer. He was a predator, hiding in plain sight, a man whose sickening crimes went unnoticed for over a decade. After Netflix's shocking series reignited interest in his story, the world once again found itself captivated by the chilling details of Dahmer's life, his brutal murders, and the horrifying secrets hidden within his Milwaukee apartment. Born in 1960, Dahmer's early years were marked by isolation, neglect, and an unsettling fascination with death. As a child, he collected dead animals, dissecting them to satisfy his growing curiosity about anatomy. His parents' failing marriage and constant fighting left him withdrawn, fueling his dark obsessions. Despite his odd behavior, no one could have predicted that the quiet, awkward boy would evolve into one of America's most infamous serial killers. His descent into darkness began in 1978, shortly after graduating high school. At just 18 years old, Dahmer committed his first murder. He picked up a hitchhiker, 19-year-old Stephen Hicks, brought him home under the guise of having drinks, and when Hicks tried to leave, Dahmer bludgeoned him to death with a dumbbell. This act set the stage for a decade-long killing spree. The terrifying part? He got away with it. No one suspected a thing. For years, Dahmer lived a double life. By day, he was an unremarkable worker, drifting through various jobs. By night, he was a sadistic predator, luring young men, mostly from the LGBTQ+ community, back to his apartment, where they met their gruesome fate. What made Dahmer's crimes especially disturbing was his desire for complete control over his victims. He drugged them, performed experiments to turn them into living zombies, and eventually murdered them in cold blood. Some were strangled, others were dismembered, and in truly nightmarish fashion, Dahmer resorted to cannibalism, preserving body parts as trophies. His Milwaukee apartment was a house of horrors. When police finally entered in 1991, they discovered an unspeakable crime scene: human skulls, preserved organs, Polaroids of mutilated victims, and vats filled with acid-dissolved remains. The arrest of Dahmer sent shockwaves through the nation. How had a man been able to commit such atrocities without detection for so long? Even more horrifying was the realization that authorities had multiple chances to stop him. One of his victims, 14-year-old Konorak Synthesomphone, had managed to escape, running half-naked into the street. Neighbors called 911, but when police arrived, Dahmer convinced them that the boy was his intoxicated lover. In a chilling twist, officers escorted the victim back to Dahmer's apartment, where he was later killed. This grave failure by law enforcement remains one of the most tragic aspects of the case. Dahmer's trial in 1992 was a media spectacle. He sat emotionless as the gruesome details of his crimes unfolded. He admitted to everything, showing little remorse. Sentenced to multiple life terms, he was sent to Columbia Correctional Institution, where justice came in a brutal form. In 1994, fellow inmate Christopher Scarver beat Dahmer to death with a metal bar. Some saw it as karma, others as an escape from the punishment he truly deserved. Decades later, the fascination with Dahmer persists, fueled by true crime documentaries, books, and now Netflix's controversial series. While some argue that the show sheds light on the failures of the justice system, Others believe it glorifies a monster, turning him into a pop culture figure. The series sparked backlash, particularly from the families of the victims, who felt re-traumatized seeing their loved ones' deaths turned into entertainment.